Welcome everyone. We have the Spin Master Heroes and Villains Superman movie 4-pack. Spin Master normally does these 4-inch figures, and trying to remember if Amazon advertises these as 4-inch figures, but as we get into this, these are not 4-inch figures. These are 3-inch figures. And that becomes apparent when you get this thing and you see it in real life. So we're going to compare this to the other Spin Master figures, and we're going to compare this to the 3-inch Page Puncher figures from McFarlane because they seem to be more closer to that scale. So real quick on the packaging, good packaging, very universal look for the Superman movie. Bunch of legal stuff on the bottom. On the back, we get to see what they come with. They seem to be pretty well articulated to be these little tiny figures. And here is the UPC if you want that. Again, I got this one off of Amazon. So let's go ahead and open this. So no weapons, no accessories. These guys do not have the little hand holes that the 4-inch figures have. This robot's probably going to have a hard time standing. And let me adjust here a little bit. And here they go. These are some very little figures. This poor guy, he's not built to stand. His legs are just super thin. All right, there we go. Even the camera's having a hard time focusing in because these are little bitty dudes. Here's the 6-inch Spin Master. So right off the bat, a couple things to talk about. So robot and female character. Oh, let me take that back. Robot does not have knee articulation, which is probably good because the legs are so thin. No hole pegs. The cape. The cape is a separate piece, but it seems like it's glued on. Yeah, you cannot take this cape off, but you can tell it's a different material. Let me see if putting the arms forward helped a little bit. Okay. The rest of the figures, so they've got rotation at the head, they have arm swivel, they have disc hinge or ball joint. Actually, that's ball jointed hips, and they've got knee articulation. Superman has the same thing going on with the cape. The cape is glued in as this big ugly block in the back, holding it into the torso. But same thing going on with the articulation there. Man, look at that. That's so tiny. The sculpting on the face. Yeah, you can. Yeah, this definitely looks like inkjet printing. That is just crazy. Yeah, same thing with him. And I was about to say she did not have knee articulation, but she does. So Spin Master is just doing like a lot of unusual stuff with this wave. They normally don't do 6-inch figures. I don't think they've done these 3-inch figure scale before. Um, this is the normal scale that they do these smaller figures in. It's basically like a 4-inch. It's like the same scale as the modern G.I. Joe figures that came out years ago. Whoops. And then here goes McFarlane. Let's put him over here. This guy's got a cape, which makes him a little hard to stand also. And he's got little tiny feet. This may have been a bad example. He he does not want to stand on his own, so I'm going to hold him for a moment. But you can see this is like the same size. And you know, the articulation scheme is kind of backwards on McFarlane. He's got like disc hinge elbows, but he's got swivel hips. This guy's got disc hinge or ball jointed hips and swivel elbows. So, yeah. And then something that I mentioned in the other video with the 12-inch figure, it does seem like they might be using a universal 3D model for these figures and are making, tweaks as needed for the size of the figure, because these definitely seem very similar to their other counterparts, which would make sense in modern times. They've probably, with these guys in costume, they've probably done 3D scans of them all so that they can, make products, and definitely for like CGI work and stuff like that. So, yeah. These are pretty nifty. One thing I like about the McFarlane figures is you can kind of put these in with like a masterpiece transformer. So if you wanted to have like a movie shelf, look at that. I don't know if that's scale. Probably not. These are probably a little bit too small. I don't know. That's a tough one. Thinking about the size of that tire, maybe it should be just a tad bit bigger, the humans. But yeah, you could, put these in with some movie masterpiece transformer figures if you wanted. And to me, that's like the cool way to display these. Normally, with figures this small, for a product line for kids, there's going to be vehicles. I don't know that there's any vehicles yet, and Superman isn't known as a vehicle character. Mr. Terrific, maybe he'll have some stuff. Maybe there'll be play sets. I could see that being a thing. So just kind of an oddity. What what is Spin Master doing? So there you have it. Thought people might be interested in what these actually are, and definitely the size. Before you get them, just know what these actually are. And this didn't cost much. This was like a $14, $15 figure set. So cool little set, cool little figures to have on your desk to play around with. But again, definitely kind of really meant for kids. So, you know, if you're not a kid, you can still have fun with these. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you haven't done so, please like and subscribe and tune into more videos coming up. Thank you.